Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm, and in this project, in this part of the project, you are going to create the rest of the artwork that we need. First, you've already created the player, you've already created your tiles for your environment. Now what you need is the enemy, the pickup, and the ending state, the door or whatever that you're going to walk through. Now I'm not going to show you how to build all of these in Photoshop because we've done this twice now already. You should have a pretty good idea, but I am going to give you some tips. The spike can just be a 32 by 32 thing. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. There don't need to be any animations or anything like that. So the spike you can knock out pretty quickly. The pickup is going to be an animation. Now notice that all of the frames are next to each other. That's one way you can do it. Instead of doing this grid here, you can do, let's say, what's 32 times 4? 128. So 128 pixels across by 32 pixels tall. Oh, hey, I could have just hovered over it and it tells me the dimensions right there. So you can do 128 pixels wide by 32 pixels tall, and then just build your artwork so that it's level instead of in two different, it's completely up to you. The end state here, this thing is actually twice as tall as my main character, right? So this is actually 64 by 64, but instead of creating this as 4 separate tiles, this is going to be 2 separate tiles, and it's going to be 64 by 32, or 32 by 64, I guess, is how it goes. So you can create bigger objects than your player. Just your player has to be 32 by 32, and then everything else is going to be based on a reference of that size, right? So this thing is bigger than my player, so I'm going to make it twice as big. That's basically all you need to worry about. So the big thing is making sure that you set up your Photoshop documents so that they are the right size, and everything's based on 32 pixels by 32 pixels. If your tiles are that size, your main character is that size, your enemies, your pickups, everything is based on 32 by 32, then it will make it a whole lot easier to build everything and make it look like it's in the same, at the same scale. You know what I mean? All right. Well, like I said, this is going to be a super quick video. When you're done with all your artwork, make sure you export it all into a folder that you have access to, so that we can dump this artwork into Godot whenever it's time to move on to that part of the project, which is actually coming up pretty soon. All right. So I'm going to leave it here, let you guys get started. Let me know if you have any questions.